welcome to our first rendezvous here on Aktuell. We are Anda
and Mihaela, and we hope to keep your attention high for the next hour on our first live broadcasted interview.
Aktuell presents a series of live broadcasted interviews brought into being by an enormous love and respect for architecture as a branch of knowledge. The initiative is centered around the idea of living the passion for architecture, generating productive talks and involving a wide audience on architecture, design, landscape photography. Built by the idea of intersecting varied architectural areas, Aktuell becomes a common ground of a selection of local and international artists. We create dialogues and debates on terms of good design and architecture. Aktuell exhibits, within a specific topic chosen each month, a gallery of emblematic works. We research the complexities of a specific topic within the range of architecture, interior architecture, visual arts, and design.
As you might already know, today we are connecting with Bogdan Ciocodeica, one of the most prolific architects in Romania at the moment. Bogdan Ciocodeica Studio is a Bucharest-based architecture practice with a special interest in interior design, architecture, product design, and public space interventions. His professional approach could be labeled as eclectic minimalism, a mix of simple, clean lines and statement pieces that put the end user of the design at the space and allowing to always following the transition from idea to real life. Their projects adapt to the changes that appear along the way without losing the initial concept, although keeping in mind that every project is an ever-evolving organism that keeps morphing long after the architect has finished his work. Bogdan Ciocodeica is one of our former contributors, and he is an architect whose work we highly appreciate and acclaim. His designs are characterized by their identity and reconcilability. Hello, Bogdan.
Hello.
Hello, Bogdan. Thank you for joining Aktuell.
Thank you for having me.
It is not every day that you get to witness the world change before our eyes. And when that happens, particularly with something as monumental as the current pandemic, the gravitas of the moment in time does not escape any of us. How's your life been lately? What have you been doing so far?
I think it's been a challenge for all of us this period, but I consider myself to be one of the lucky ones because 5 years ago we decided to give up the physical studio, the physical space for the studio, and me and my colleagues, we all work remote. So basically when the pandemic hit, we were already working from home, so it was easier for us to adapt because the change was minimal. It was maybe harder to interact with the clients and with the construction site, but overall I think it was not that difficult for us.
I remember a previous talk we had about your workflow, and you told me that you are already working offline and online both, and I think this is something very innovative.
I think because we had projects in many places, not just in Bucharest, so we had the need to always be on the move and to be where the project is. So we decided that a physical space would be more of a constriction for us, so it's easier now in a day and age of technology where you can easily connect and share screen and have discussions, brainstormings, everything online. It's really efficient for us to work that way. So we were somehow prepared. Mm-hmm. Even if that wasn't the initial plan for us, we were lucky. So
let's call it that way.
Yeah.
They say there's nothing like the real thing, like the nuance of a real experience. And this phrase translates as a full experience, as the physical and emotional effect you get when you see design firsthand, people, places, rather than superficially through a screen. And as designers, we grasp a lot of inspiration by sightseeing, as in going to places that feel close to our core values and create some certain emotions. And I want to ask you, do you miss traveling?
Yes, definitely. I think the traveling aspect of life is where this current situation has affected me the most, because I love traveling, and now even the idea that maybe it's really difficult, or in some cases, some places, almost impossible to travel now, it's really frustrating. And that's the most important aspect, that the pandemic has changed my life and has affected me. Yeah, so I really miss traveling. But at the same time, I think we have to be really responsible and to do our part, and to take care of ourselves and of the others around us.
Can you tell us more about the places that you consider when traveling? How do you get to choose them, and maybe how do they inspire you? Even why not describe a place you recently visited that impacted you in certain ways?
It's really interesting because I have two really opposite ways of choosing the places I want to see.
Okay.
Whether it can be a totally new place, never been there, but something sparks my interest. Maybe it's design or architecture related, or maybe it's food related, I don't know. Or just a friend who was there and told me it was amazing, you have to see it. So that's one way I approach traveling. And I think in a totally opposite direction is I really enjoy revisiting places I've already been, and that I know that I like and I enjoy, and I really love discovering layers and layers and layers of the same place. Because after a while, if you go many times in one place, every time you discover a different thing, and you see another face of that place. So because you asked me of a place where I've been recently, just days before the pandemic and the lockdown, I got back. I went to Rio de Janeiro. I go to Brazil every year because it's the place I love the most. It's the most amazing place on earth.
How many times have you visited Brazil up until now?
I'm going. I think it was the 5th.
Oh wow! Okay.
I go to Brazil every winter, so I've been going there for the past 5 years. And
nice.
Yeah, it's of course. Some say it can be dangerous. Yes, it can be dangerous, but overall it's such an amazing place where nature and architecture and design and culture, they all mix together in such a beautiful way. And basically I think it's the place where I want to grow old at some point.
I'm always fascinated about your stories, and I'm curious, has personal memory ever been a starting point in your design process?
Yeah, for sure. I think because even if not directly, but personal memory plays a crucial role in developing any creative aspect of life. Because for instance, I'm really the thing that really sparks me is the smell, the memory of that a certain smell brings to you. So yeah, even if it's not directly, a certain memory will guide you and will direct you in a certain on a certain path in solving and evolving a project. So I think it's really important.
From our point of view, real connections, of course, can enhance the understanding of the final work. Because sometimes over a coffee you can understand your client's particularities and their personality and their ways of living, of course. Listening carefully is crucial, but it's never just enough to go and create what your clients ask for. The architect's subtle art is to read between the lines to find the solutions their clients didn't even know they wanted. So is the social aspect important to your work?
I would say it's crucial, not important. It's fundamental to a project. It's really interesting because first of all, when you start a project, you have to get to know your client, to get to know your end user. So you end up socializing a lot I end up socializing a lot with my clients, and we talk a lot because I'm interested in seeing what their daily patterns are, what type of expectations they have from the space that we're designing at that moment, what's important to them, basically what makes them tick. So we do a lot of socializing, a lot of back and forth, trying to know each other, me trying to know them. So and of course, when they come to me and they want to work with me, they already know what we are doing, architecturally speaking, from a design standpoint, and basically we have the same aesthetic values. So there's a lot to talk there because we share the same values, and it happened not once but a few times when we ended up becoming friends long after the project was done, because we connected really well and we shared the same principles and values. So yeah, it's crucial. The communication in a project is what makes the project be suitable for the end user. That's when you have like the direct client and you can talk to him. But sometimes the end user is someone else. For instance, when you talk about a public space, a restaurant, a cafe, the ones that you are addressing are the clients. So you cannot talk with all the clients. Sure. So you talk with the owner, and then it's exactly what you said. You have to read between the lines and to imagine this virtual conversation that you're having with the end user and see and try to make this
to catch their particularities.
Exactly, and to make sure that basically what you offer them is the best version of the project, and that it answers as many questions as it can in a certain situation.
I'd like to pin something you previously said, because you talked about a specific relationship between you as an architect and your clients, and then you said that maybe the client is the one that experiences the space. So we had the opportunity to visit Lunet Pop-up store when that event was available, and we were fascinated about the whole thing. It was like an effervescent event. The people were gathering both inside and outside, and the boulevard was, I don't know, so full of such a nice experience. People were both, I don't know, sightseeing the eyewear that was exhibited and your small design pieces. So. You quite created a very special social event there with your design. Can you tell us more about your project?
I'm really glad that you liked it, because I think all that you described is just the result of the fact that it was a really dear project to me, first of all. Second, with the guys behind the brand, we really connected and we saw eye to eye on everything. And what we tried to do there was, of course, to create this, let's say, shop type of experience, but at the same time, we were trying to create something that would best describe the Lunet universe. So we tried to come up with something that was aesthetically coherent with their core values, with the brand values. But at the same time, the object that we created needed to have this functional role. So they need to be displays for the eyewear, and also to create this, let's say, fake window towards the window display towards the street. And because they were, yes, they are selling a product which is a piece of eyewear, but at the same time, they're, as I said, they're creating a certain universe there. So we also worked with a young Romanian photographer, Alex Bulmanu, who tried to show us his take on the Lunet universe with the photos that we used on the light boxes, like used as backdrop for the entire setup. So yeah, I'm glad you liked it, and I loved the project.
Such a pop of color.
Yeah, but that's the Lunet universe, so it's unexpected and it's fresh and it's out of the box. So we try to do that, and if we succeeded, I'm really happy.
I think you did.
Thank you.
I also want to pin a memory I had when I first came to the showroom, this showroom that we're filming in today, the SSAB showroom. I had this memory of Milan while I was through Salone del Mobile, this whole thing with the arches. I want to know, how did you manage to produce that feeling in this space?
I think it all started with the entire approach of the project, because SSAB is a well-known, established brand on the Romanian market, but they wanted something totally different. So something different than what they had, and something different that you can find on the market at this point. So of course it's a business and it has its commercial aspects, but we wanted to showcase the products in such a way where the main element, the central element, is not the commercial aspect of the products, but the design aspect of the products. So basically we try to realize a showroom that is focused on the quality of design, the quality of the showroom itself, and the quality, the design quality of all the products that are shown, presented, and sold here. So that's how it all started, because we wanted to focus on design and not necessarily on the commercial aspect. I think the second plus that we had in this project was the openness of everybody involved here, because everybody wanted to have this the best possible outcome. And yeah, we created, because you said it's like an indoor street, we created these 2 volumes that enclose all the products, and then you have this window shopping type of experience as you go through the showroom. And it's it's easier for the client to get immersed in the whole atmosphere and in good design, and then rather than right from the start see the product.
I remember you precisely describing it as a boulevard, and I felt like it's the best way of putting it in words.
Yeah, that was the point. Your own private boulevard when you come in, and then you just walk through and you recharge yourself with design.
Now, looking at it, are there any what-if moments that you've contented with in this space?
Ooh. It's difficult. I think you have what-if type of moments with all the projects, things that maybe you have done different, or things that, but usually we are lucky to work with people that appreciate our approach and our ways of seeing things. So the what-ifs generally appear due to certain construction issues or site problems that appear along the way, rather than the what-ifs, the usual what-ifs that you would encounter with a certain type of client. So overall, I would say probably we have small what-ifs, but they are generated by the problems that we have encountered implementing the project, not coming from the...
As an in situ context.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay.
I want to ask you a bit about how you choose the furniture, because our culture in general is afraid of this idea of aging. They would like to know if you, when choosing the furniture for your projects, if you go for new design pieces, or could you also go for things that have flaws, are worn or used and old?
Here, I think it really depends on the type of project and on the client, because occasionally you have the type of client that wants something brand new, clean slate, everything from scratch. So then, of course, you go for everything new, because sometimes, you know, design and redesigning a space can be also almost a therapeutic type of experience. So yeah, we go for everything new. But otherwise, in my approach, I generally go for a mix of the two. New pieces and old pieces, refurbished furniture pieces, because I think I'm not afraid of the old and of getting old, of things getting old, because they're supposed to be there, and you're supposed to use them and enjoy them. So it's nice to see that a certain object has its life, and you can see everything it's been through in time. So yeah, we always try to do a mix of old and new, depending on the project. And sometimes clients have their own pieces that they want to. Yeah, they take them with them from home to home, and it means something to them. Maybe it's an heirloom, or maybe it's something that was bought at a certain point in time, and it sparks a memory. So yeah, they come with that baggage, and you have to integrate it in in the project, which is amazing, because I really love objects that have a story to tell.
Exactly. What about the A&A apartment? How did you choose the design pieces for this project?
Actually, the A&A apartment is one such situation, because the owners had a few vintage pieces that they really enjoyed, and also they're a young couple really interested in design. So it was again one of those situations when we knew each other before the project, but I think we were friends, but I think the project brought us closer. It was really nice because they understood the value of good design. So it was one of those projects where you, as an architect, you don't need to invest energy in explaining or convincing your client why this piece is more valuable than that, or why you should go for an original piece and stuff like that, because they already knew all that. So it was
a perfect kind of relationship in a way.
Yes, yes. It was maybe a difficult project along the way because of the construction aspect, but as interaction and openness to design and to ideas, it was again a really favorable situation.
I'm always absolutely fascinated by the way you describe your projects. Is it hard having your work so present all the time, or is it exciting to you?
By present, you mean?
I mean present in your daytime life, in your day-to-day activities.
No.
You always sound very involved.
It's really easy for me because I don't regard it as work. It's part of my life. What I do is part of my life. So it happened to get at this point. It's not something that I dreamt since I was 5 years old to do, but it was the right choice for me, and I think I couldn't see myself doing anything else but this, and it's a part of my life and a part of who I am. So no, it's not difficult. It's who I am. So. And I tend to. It's really hard, even when I try to disconnect and to just stop working. Somehow sometimes I end up relaxing by looking at nice projects or nice architecture pictures.
Still working.
Yeah, somehow, yeah. But it's not work, as I said.
Yes.
It's something that I genuinely love doing. So it's
relaxing your sight.
Exactly.
You were mentioning the aesthetic, and I want to say that you have a very strong aesthetic sense. And I want to ask you if you feel like your work is sometimes a conversation with other artists or architects that you admire.
I should hope so. I think, yeah, of course. I think if you, as I said, if you share the same aesthetic values with someone, there is a conversation there, and it should be, I think, because we're all in our profession we're taking things that we like and we resonate with and try to incorporate them in what we do. So basically, if others do the same with the same tools, but the end result for everybody is different. So basically, yes, it's like lines in a movie. Everybody is saying something. So
Nicely said.
yeah, if you're speaking the same language and the same design and architectural aesthetic language, then yes, it's a dialogue.
For sure. Can you please tell us how you got the idea for the Beans and Dots coffee shop?
Ooh.
Your inspiration, actually.
Actually, that was really easy because I really think that form follows function, or it should. It shouldn't. It should be a dialogue between form and function, and in this case, it was the whole idea was given by the space itself. So basically the geometry of the space was the thing that inspired us to have this end result, because you have this space which is on two stories, but partially, and then it's just one story, and you have somehow to find a way to mitigate the two height differences. And also for me, always in all our projects, is really important the way the user is feeling in the space, and how you connect and relate to the space, and how the space makes you feel. Is it a good space? Does it make you feel comfortable? Is it a welcoming space, or is it something that makes you feel awkward? So the first thing that I felt when I entered the space was that this unusual height is something really spectacular, but at the same time it makes you feel a bit strange. It is a bit out of scale. So what we did was trying to, every step of the way, trying to bring the whole space to the human scale, so you feel comfortable in the space.
I actually feel really comfortable. I drink my coffee there often.
I'm glad. So yeah, we use the installations on the ceiling, with mirrors, which they bring somehow the ceiling lower without losing this spectacular height feeling that you have. And also we constructed the whole bookshelf that goes from ground floor up to the ceiling, also basically bringing down all the elements to the human scale. That was the whole plan.
And such a nice rhythm that the bookshelf actually created. Well, for us it sounds very liberating not being tethered to a laptop or a mobile phone all day and all night. What sort of relationship do you have with technology?
Should I show you my phone?
Yeah, I was talking with my tablet.
Not really disconnecting. No, I know it's a day and age when everybody is trying to take a break, and you have like this social media cleansing and
Zooms all over.
yeah, but maybe because it's some sort of fear of missing out or not, I'm constantly glued to my phone because I do a lot of things with my phone. So if it's not working on a project, literally drawing something, then I'm not using anything else but my phone. So I answer emails, I check social media, I talk to my clients, I talk to the constructors, everything. So I'm really glued to technology.
And what about, I don't know, a typical day for you in Bucharest? Are you a creature of habit?
I would say not, or depends. If you count the coffee in the morning a habit, then yeah, maybe a bit. But no, I would say I'm more on the chaotic side of life, because depending on what I have to do in that day, all my days are very different from one another. So it can be a whole day dedicated to work, and then it's me and my laptop, and I do video calls with my colleagues and talk about projects. And but at the same time, now it's a bit different because due to social distancing and to the recent lockdown, all days tended to be the same. But in a normal type of situation, I have days when I go to meetings, to site visits, and it's a bit crazy. I never know.
Hectic.
Yeah, a bit. So I like to have a structure, but not a really detailed plan. So I wouldn't say I'm a creature of habit, no.
Cool. Well, for now I want to change the pace, and we've got a little something for you. We're going to play a game It's called croquis, and
Okay.
let's see what you get.
Okay.
Okay, so croquis is German for sketch, if that wasn't already obvious. And the game goes like this. We will display an architecture sketch, and you are to guess the architect and the project. I will invite you to open the tablet,
Okay.
because you've got the sketches there. And let's start with the first one.
It's just a sketch, so
We weren't lying. Okay, let's start with the first one. A cult favorite, the architect's work is often associated with minimalism. His style is typified by simple shapes, the use of plain, expensive surfaces in concrete, glass, and white, and lack of ornamentation. He cites legendary architect Luis Barragan among his influences. He is the reason for the terms tectonic and stereotomic. Is it 1. Tamen Videgaard Island House, 2. Juan Domingo Santos House on a Hillside, or 3. Alberto Campo Baeza Daycare Center?
it's Campo Baeza because it's really easy to recognize the plan.
Oh, come on, we started easy.
Okay.
But yes,
Thank you.
the Daycare Center is actually one of my favorite projects, so I'm amazed that you recognized.
But yeah, anyway, it's such a recognizable sketch. Let's go to the second one. This house for a writer is sited on a former factory foundation. The owner has a collection of square-head 19th century metallic pieces gathered over the years on its site. Windows correspond to the 24 chapters of Homer's Odyssey and are organized to project fingers of light into the interior volume. 1. Luigi Franciosini, Pavilion del Parco Archeologico di Verrucchio. 2. Stephen Hall, Nail Collector's House. And 3. Peter Zumthor, Briol.
It's Nels Corrector's house.
Okay, that's right.
But it's funny because the first one was easy, but this is funny because when I was studying architecture, I was really enjoying the scale models, doing the scale models for the project, and this project has an amazing scale model, and I was always fascinated going through the magazine and seeing the pictures of the scale model. It was amazing. So
Oh my god, you were so lucky.
We should have asked first. Okay, so let's go with another one. Another minimalist architect whose work is highly acclaimed. From the outside, the building looks like a lamp. It absorbs the changing light of the sky, the haze of the surrounding lake. It reflects light and color and gives an intimation of its inner life according to the angle of vision, the daylight and the weather. A sheer masterpiece. Is it 1. Peter Zumthor Kunsthaus Bregenz, 2. Christian Kerez Leuchtenbach School, or 3. Sana New Art Museum?
I would go between 1 and 3, and let's say 1, maybe.
Yes, you are correct. This was actually one of my favorite projects that I got to study for my diploma back when I was in high school, in university, I'm sorry.
It's a really naive sketch, so it was like a square. It can be both, either of them.
But Sana has the similar approach with New Art Museum, yes.
Yeah, we took care of that. Okay. They call themselves a naive architecture practice. They apply the same optimism and serious vivacity to all projects, from territories to birdhouses. The projects are a medley of formal languages, references, quotations, and themes, only regulated by an obsession for clarity. The produced architecture is both intuitive and rhetorical. Is it 1. Fala Atelier, apartment in Porto? Is it 2. Atelier Rua, home in Algarve? Is it 3. Salotto Buono, 2018 MDC?
It's Fala Atelier because I follow them on Instagram. I love their way of representing the project and presenting their project with this collage type of technique. So
yeah, pretty recognizable.
Yeah.
Next one. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Key themes of their work include the connections between indoor and outdoor spaces, acknowledging the passing of time, structure and materiality, and the dematerialization of their spaces. One of their most commonly used materials is corten steel. Is it 1. RCR Architects, Sulaj Museum? 2. ARQA, Bodegas del Loc? Or 3. WKH Associates, headquarters in Seoul?
It looks like it might be corten, so RCR.
Yes, you are right.
You are correct again.
This one is actually talking about scale models. I did the scale model for this project when I was in university, so it's
so nice.
Again one of my favorites.
2 more to go.
Okay.
Built in the 1970s as a reinterpretation of traditional Majorcan building methods, this property is now considered an icon of the 20th century architecture. The house used to be the architect's summer residence and was named after his wife. Is it 1. Munoz Arquitectos, Matisse House? Or 2. Toyo Ito Yu House? Or 3. John Hudson Canley's house?
I have no idea. Can I call a friend? No,
Somebody home?
No. Pass. I have no idea.
Okay. The correct one is John Hudson Canley's house.
Okay.
It's about the traditional Majorcan building methods. And it's a very recognizable Majorcan building that he constructed.
Not that very recognizable.
Yeah, not that very recognizable, but for the Majorcan
Yeah, I'm gonna do my
people,
homework now.
Yeah, but
I promise.
Yeah, as I said, for the Majorcan people, like, they know about this Canley's house.
Okay, let's go with another one. A cult figure who first wanted to become an opera singer and then a sculptor, today is widely regarded as one of the leading exponents of modern Portuguese architecture and one of the world's most prominent architects of the last few decades. He is the recipient of many prestigious awards and was credited as being a successor of early modernists. The jury citation describes how his shapes, molded by light, have a deceptive simplicity about them. They are honest. Is it 1. Eduardo Soto de Moura, Vatican Chapel? 2. Alvaro Siza, Casa Lagartixa? Or 3. Carilho da Graça, Lisbon Terminal?
It's Caesar.
Okay, you were right, but...
I was not sure. I was winging it a bit, but yeah.
Yes, you are right. It is Caesar.
It is correct again.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think it's time to wrap it up. Thank you, Bogdan, for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for having me. It was a real pleasure being here with you.
It was a real pleasure for us too.
And thank you everybody for attending this session. Keep an eye posted for our next episode.
We invited architect Alexei Gulesha from Sivac & Partners to join our second rendezvous on the 19th of August. And we've got many interesting names awaiting. Make sure to follow our Instagram and Facebook and turn on notifications for future events. Goodbye.
Bye.